What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we are going to be reacting to Ty's Season 5 Age of Heroes awards. So if you guys are not subbed to Ty, a link to his channel will be the first thing in the description. Go sub to him. Obviously the 250k champion, one of the best MyTEAM players in the world, and he is on the road to 60,000 subscribers, so hopefully he can get that soon enough. But yeah, so we've done a reaction to these every single season. So I think he does like defensive player of the season, he does like all Ruby teams, all Amethyst teams, etc. And then I think he's got like best Evo, like just MVP of the season, things like that. It should be fun to react to. And before we get on to it, if you guys are new to this channel, subscribe. We have more MyTEAM content here than anywhere else. Right now we are at 238,000 subs, just over that. We are trying to, by the end of this month, hit 240,000. So again, we've got a week to do it, so it's going to be very, very close. We are somewhat on track. Like we're not far off. We are not far off being on track, but we're gonna have a couple of days where it picks up to hit that. But if we don't, not the biggest deal in the world. I still really appreciate all the support. But anyway, now let's get on to this. So.
Support. So our first award today goes to the cheesiest player in NBA 2K21 in Season 5. So
there is one answer to this. There is one correct answer to this. Magic Johnson. If you guys don't know, like I've dropped 90 points in games against dudes running like or Dark Matter Derrick Rose, because this Magic Johnson card, especially on current gen, can post hook from the freaking 3-point line. It's a joke. If we're talking best card, I still think Luka's better, but cheesiest, Magic. And he's basically unguardable. And on next gen, half hook specialist means he's not missing a post hook either. Like he can't shoot them from as far, but if you don't switch matchups, Magic is destroying everybody. These two guys are good, but like Magic, no, not even a comparison.
These cards all came out in Season 5. Obviously, we don't have, the Season 4, anybody from Season 4 in here. But our first guy I'm going to talk about today is Galaxy Opal Magic Johnson. Now, for a 6'9" point guard, he is so cheap.
He has to win. He has to.
With Magic, and just trying to guard that is so tough to defend. And honestly,
Ty knows full well the power of Magic Johnson. Like, even with the pink diamond Magic Johnson, when I played against him, he really struggled guarding the post hooks.
He's got the Pro 2 Curry Escape, got the Pro 3 moving behind the back up the court, and he's got a decent enough 3-ball. So Magic Johnson.
What about the post hooks? The one thing that makes him cheesy. The one thing that separates Magic Johnson from Bonga is the post hooks.
Is so tough to defend, and especially when your opponent is running 5 out and you just have to,
like, without the post hooks, he's just Bonga.
So tough to do against that Magic card. Our next card is Luka Doncic. Has the Anton Jameson base, 6'7", I believe, for Luka. So he's got some decent.
Yeah, Luka's the best. Luka's the best. He's not as cheesy, but he's best.
He's not as tall as Magic, right? Doesn't have as good a dribble 6, but Luka can actually run on current gen, unlike Magic has a better release, and so they give you something a little bit different.
The more I think about it now, the more I think, if we start to see tall point guards, Luka Doncic might be the best 2 guard in the game. He is like he's like a perfect pro-am sharp who can also do everything else.
Magic's just
Luka might be the best 2 guard in the game
Luka's
soon.
Got a little bit better of a release. Next card is Wes Unseld. Now Wes was a Spotlight Sim reward, so you did have to grind, I think, 5 or 6 players before you got Wes Unseld. But the reason he's on our cheesiest, or one of the nominees for cheesiest players,
it's like 70 an hour grind.
7-point center that can handle it. He's got the Pro 2 Curry Escape as a center.
I mean, D-Rob can clamp him. Like, I don't agree with Wes. I agree with these two guys, but I'd put like Dirk in instead, maybe.
So if you like kind of running that small ball, he's got the
D-Rob
release with the Curry Escape, 6'7", Hall of Fame quick first step. He's got it all as far as a point center. So each and every one of these players in cards are super cheesy. Ultimately, I decided that the cheesiest one of all of these is Magic Johnson.
Not
Everybody
close.
had their own case. But
Not
Magic
close.
being 6'9" at the point guard position with a good 3-ball is just absolutely incredible.
I cannot accept that somebody put Magic in there without mentioning the post hook. Like, Magic's good and all, but the thing that separates Magic Johnson from Bonga is the fact that Magic Johnson can post hook from the 3-point line. That's what separates him from a Bonga, like. That he's just Bonga.
Into the court. I think Magic is the cheesiest player that we saw in Season 5. Our next award here today is the Defensive Player of the Season.
Jordan.
So, out of all of the players that we got this season, we've got a lot
Jordan,
of
no debate.
Some guys that could have been on here that didn't quite make the cut. You got guys like Galaxy Opal Paul George, who didn't even
Opal
make the
Giannis over
cut
Ben.
for the Defensive Player of the Season. Guys like David Robinson didn't quite make the cut. And those guys are absolutely incredible on the defensive side, the defensive end of the court. Even like a Draymond Green, you definitely could have made the case that he should be on here. Even the Magic Johnson that we just saw, as far as a point guard, is an incredible.
I think Giannis
so
needs to be here. Giannis should be here.
I'm gonna start off with Pink Diamond Ben Wallace here. One of the most slept-on cards.
He is, but Giannis is better on defense,
Looking
in my
at Ben
opinion.
Wallace, guys, 6'9", has mid to upper 90 speed.
He's
mid to
good
upper
though. He's
90s
good.
lateral quickness, has basically every defensive badge you could possibly want in the game. And I know, like, he got overlooked because I mean we got a lot of content that day that he came out, but trust me, he's a
Ben Wallace was
he's
really good.
And in my opinion, as far as the center, or even if you want to run him a power forward position is concerned, is absolutely incredible. Think of Bobby Jones, but a faster, better defensive player than Bobby Jones. Just Bobby Jones on steroids.
Doesn't shoot
really
quite
is
as
what
well though.
Ben Wallace Pink Diamond is. Then we get our dark matter Michael Jordan. We all know what Michael Jordan did last year with his tendencies and beating people up. This year, Michael Jordan is no different.
He's not quite as good on next gen though. Current gen, it's Jordan is not close.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it is.
On next gen, the best is
Basically
Giannis
every
by a mile.
badge you could possibly want. Now, the only thing for MJ that, you know, could be a little downside is the fact that he's only 6'6". But great stats.
His
great
wingspan's
badges,
insane,
great
though.
tendencies.
Does he not have a 6'11" wingspan?
Michael Jordan, you know what you're getting on the defensive end of the court. Then we do get Scottie Pippen.
Scottie,
6'8".
he's good.
And that's the thing.
I don't
about
like Scottie, but he's a good
Pippen.
defender.
Overlooked by a lot of people. His wingspan is there as well. His player model is just super nice. He is going to be beating the opponents up.
Scottie's always
up and
top
down
tier.
the court
I put Kevin Garnett here as well.
Possession. And so I love Scottie Pippen on defense. I love MJ on defense. Ultimately, guys, I'm giving the Defensive Player of the Season award to
Ay, ay, ay. Ay, caramba. C'est incroyable. Ni kjarum. Ta. Aglarm? Is that shock? Is that I'm shocked? I am shocked. I think Giannis is just better. I think Giannis is just simply a better defender. And he wasn't even a nomination. And Ben.
It's a big Ben. Wallace. Now, you guys can't judge until you use the card. Use
I have
Ben
used him. He's
at
really
the center
good.
Position, guard in the pick and roll.
I just think there's like another guy that does the same thing as him. Is just better in every way. Like a non-shooting elite defense or a not great shooter, elite defensive player. I think Giannis is better in every way.
Guarding on the interior, and you'll find out that Big Ben does his thing. The next award goes to the most overrated player.
Everyone knows Hito sucks. Pau Gasol's underrated.
Harden's
for
some of these cards on here, but it's just what I believe. Remember,
Harden's very meh.
My season award, so this is only one voter out of everybody. So first one is Galaxy Opal James Harden. Now, Fear of the Beard is not terrible.
He's okay. He's meh.
2K21, right?
He's so meh.
But the one thing about it is James Harden has never had a release.
He sucks on next gen.
He
sucks on next gen.
When I say that, like a cheesy point guard release, right? James Harden's 6'5". He can attack the rim. But the thing is, his release, you need quite a bit of space to get it off. Yes, it's easy to time.
He's so meh.
But to do that, you're going to need the space.
Pau's underrated, if anything.
Isn't truly that easy.
If anything, people think Pau sucks. Pau's great.
Our next player is the limited reward. You guys know a lot of times I do feel like the limited rewards are overrated. Paul Gasol is no different, right?
How?
No, he's better than I thought 2K would make him. But it's
better than I thought 2K would make him. How is he overrated? Like, most people didn't even grind out for this guy up to the last week because they thought he was going to suck. He's great.
Possible for 2K to make Pau Gasol
He's great.
like that. Now, here's the thing about Pau. Next gen, he might be decent enough.
He's great on
And
both
when I say
gens.
decent enough, he might be, on the verge of being an 8 through 10 best center in the game. Now, on current gen, I don't even think he's a top 10 center. So, for me to sit here and say Pau Gasol...
You're going to put Cat over him. That's how biased you have to be. There is no scenario. His release is even better than Cat's. There is nothing Karl Anthony Towns does better. And I can guarantee you had Karl Anthony Towns in your top 10 centers. Let's go to the TyDEBO YouTube channel right here. And let's find his top 10 centers. Let's see. Because it was his previous video. Let's see what he had in his top 10. He had, dude, a Bill Russell or Spencer Haywood He's better than Spencer Haywood. He's not as good as Sabonis. He's way better than Cat. Cat's not on the same stratosphere as Sabonis. That's fine. If you want to put him behind Sabonis, I'm fine with that. But he's significantly better than Cat. It's not even a debate. It's not even a debate. He's in the top 10 centers in current gen, and without question on next as well.
So it's worth it for you to grind for. I just don't think that's the case. And when we're talking about 20 plus games for the average player to get Pau Gasol, I just think
20 plus
much
games.
better things that you can spend.
Yeah, like if you have to play like 2 or 3 games a weekend for Pau Gasol, that's nothing. That's nothing. Like, the only people that he wasn't worth it for was someone if he played like 14 games, but that's nothing for Pau. Some people got Pau in 8 games.
Spend your time towards then spending 10 hours trying to get a Galaxy Opal card, who in my opinion is not even a top 10 center in the game.
He is.
Last
That's
but
not
least,
even a
we
question.
get Turkoglu. He's on here for one reason and one reason only.
He sucks.
Because in 2K19,
he was the best.
Leaner was over.
He was the best in 19. He was the best.
Hedo Turkoglu was really like that. It's just
he was the
now
best.
He had base 11, had one of the best leaners in the game compared to now. He has base 11, which is awful. And I mean, the leaners just, at least on current gen, aren't a thing. On next gen, they're patched a little bit. Hedo just will never return to old Hedo, and that just makes him overrated. Because one of my IRLs that used to play 2K19,
he was the best.
Messaged me and was like, "Man, I'm gonna start playing 2K now that we got a Galaxy Opal Hedo." No. Don't start playing 2K because of this Hedo card, because you're gonna
They ruined him.
But ultimately, guys, the most overrated card in my opinion is Galaxy Opal Pau Gasol.
Oh my god. Like, he's good.
Pretty wide margin.
You will have him so underrated.
Our next award goes to the most underrated player that we did see in Season 5 of NBA 2K21
Gallinari.
Our first nominee here is Galaxy Opal Clyde the Glide. Now, Clyde is very good.
Like, Haywood stinks on next gen. Clyde's unbelievable about gens. Gal's not good about gens. Spencer Haywood sucks.
How good Clyde is. And when I say that, I mean it. Clyde Drexler, especially on next gen, I think he's even better, is so...
Clyde's unbelievable. Gallinari's unbelievable spot-up shooter about gen. Spencer Haywood is good on current gen, stinks on next gen.
Elite. And the fact that you have to play like 1 or 2 hours for Clyde is just absolutely ridiculous. Now, that's if you had grinded for him before. Like I had
15 total.
Longer because I didn't stay up to pace with it. But Clyde, for the grind that he's a super easy grind, and in my opinion is just super worth it. Has a good release, good on the defensive end of the court, 6'7" and dunks on everybody. I absolutely love Clyde. Now the next card is Danilo Gallinari. Now when this card first came out, I was super high on it. I loved his release.
Sniper.
And then I just never really talked
He's
about
like
him,
worse out of Shrimp.
Talked about him. I see nobody running this card. And as far
His
as
Shrimp is just better than him
concerned,
in every way.
You're not going to get a guy that's going to green more shots for you than Gallinari.
Shrimp.
At least
same
that
release.
was it for me. Like Gallinari
Shrimp.
did not miss in my gameplay. You guys can go back and watch it if you want.
Like Dallas Shrimp, same release. Dallas Shrimp's just objectively a better Gallinari.
Gallinari was literally chicken man, and so
he's so
if you're
catch.
looking for a card, a stretch 4, don't look further than Gallinari. Now he is priced up a little bit because he is a moments card, probably, but at the end of the day, he is going to be absolutely chicken. Now, the last but not least, we get Galaxy Opal Spencer Haywood. Here's a card in Triple Threat Online that gets overlooked and overhyped because of the Kermit Washington effect. Kermit is so good, guys, that everybody's grinding offline, when in reality, Spencer Haywood has 29 Hall of Fame badges, has 29 gold badges, low 90 speed, I think it's a 93 speed, decent lateral quickness, and he can play the center position. So he's
Can't move.
At 6'8" with his speed and lateral quickness, he's a little worse defensive than Wallace, but so much better on the offensive end. And
He can't curry.
that's the thing about Spencer. It's like, I love Ben Wallace, and Spencer Haywood, in my opinion, is just a better version of Ben Wallace because he has a good release. And
I prefer Ben Wallace to Haywood, but again, I haven't played current gen. Spencer Haywood sucks on next gen.
A better 3-ball. Hot spots from 4 to 5 places around the arc. There's one guy I know a lot about. It's Spencer Haywood. I don't have anything in front of me. I just kind of memorized everything he's got. I absolutely love the card. So when it comes to the most underrated card,
he's good on current.
2K21 by a wide margin. Again, I think it's Spencer Haywood. Now getting to the token reward, guys.
Moses.
If there's an obvious reward, this
next.
is it. Peak Diamond Kiki, I mean, Season 5. Our next is the budget MVP. Now, this is a tough one because I didn't know where to make the mark, right? Because if we wanted to go...
There is no wrong answer. I'd say Clebo, but there's no wrong answer here. Like, you've got 20k for Sealy, who's a god, 10k for Clay, 5k for Kleba. Like, Sealy's the best of them, followed by Clay, followed by Kleba. But Kleba's also the cheapest. Like, it doesn't, like, this one is a, whoever you choose is correct. I don't care.
Upwards of 20k.
Whoever you choose is
you're
correct.
Getting into some elite players. So, this is kind of the under 20k price range. First, we get Maxi Kleba, a card who goes for about 5k MT. And for his budget, might be the best player in NBA 2K21, right? The bang for your buck type debate. And then we get into Klay Thompson, a card that goes for like 12k MT, I think. 12.
He was less yesterday.
A card who is going to be able to be knocked down from the three-point line, defend at a high level. And you know what Klay Thompson's going to give you. Basically, the Diamond Clay is equal to the Galaxy Opal Clay.
Sealy's the best.
And so that's what you got to kind of keep in the back of your mind. For 10 to 15k MT, an absolutely incredible, kind of just another bang for your buck type option. And last but not least, we get Malik Sealy. Mini Kawhi Leonard. He's not as good as Kawhi, but he is that mini Kawhi Leonard. Has the Ray Allen base. Absolutely butter release. 18 Hall of Fame badges, 33 on gold for Malik Sealy. Now, he's going to be able to stretch the floor, attack the rim. I'm pretty sure he's got Hall of Fame showtime. And then on the defensive end, you guys know as well as I do, he is going to be absolutely incredible. So when it comes down to the budget MVP,
I'm fine with it.
Again,
I'm fine with it.
Sealy, guys, just barely outclasses Klay Thompson and Maxi Kleba. But, I mean, Malik is the most expensive.
There's no wrong answer there.
But
Malik's great.
Definitely gives you the most out of each and every one.
He's the best of those cards, yeah.
The next award goes to the Mr. Inconsistent Award. And so what does...
I haven't used any of them enough to be inconsistent with them.
This mean? Well, this means some days I would love the card, other days I can't stand the card. Some days I'm
Let's hear what he has to say.
The card, other days I can't find his release. And so, the Mr. Inconsistent. First, we're going to talk about Luka Doncic. And for those of you that watched my 250k journey, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So, Luka Doncic came out the day before the 250k tournament. So, like, when I had to play the Xbox kind of side, Luka came out the day before. So, he started for me. And he didn't play too well. Like, I'll say Lonzo Ball outplayed Luka Doncic on that day. But
room around, to be fair.
That doesn't take away from how good I know Luka Doncic can be.
Luka's better than Lonzo.
I truly know Luka Doncic can be the best point guard in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. So that's what I'm talking about, Mr. Inconsistent. Some days I love Luka, other days I can't stand Luka. And so that's just kind of the basis behind Luka. Next, Kevin Durant. Same thing with 250k. Kevin Durant might have been my best player.
Ty's best player through the whole tournament.
Was knocked down, creating his own shot, and then
including the final.
Anytime I go to use Kevin Durant, I'm not good with the card. Like, I went back on my account, which I hadn't used for a while. Used Kevin Durant for the first time in like a week or two, and I could not shoot at all with the card. I know Kevin Durant's good, but again,
I think PG's better.
Hit or miss type thing with Kevin Durant, in which I was not good with him when I went on my.
I'm cash with Larry both gens.
Last but not least, we're gonna talk about Galaxy Opal Larry Bird, in which my gameplay, I was so inconsistent with the card. I'd like green 2 in a row, white 4 in a row, green 3 in a row, white 9 in a row. Like, I was just so inconsistent with Larry Bird. Like, I know his release is good, but I just couldn't time it. Like,
it's better meter on. He's better meter on current gen.
Consistently inconsistent with Larry Bird, but
he's better meter on.
Down to the most inconsistent, Luka Doncic easily takes.
I mean, next gen objectively knows he's got X and base.
But in my 250k tournament, I started Lonzo Ball in that finals against Jomar on the Xbox side because I was so uncomfortable with Luka Doncic. The next is our best Evo card in NBA 2K21.
Wait, what?
Daniel Theis, the first one we're going to talk about here.
Wait, what? Why is Daniel Theis there? Like, why is Daniel Theis there instead of... What's his name? Why is he there instead of Aaron Baines? Like, there is literally nothing Daniel Theis does better than Aaron Baines. He's worse in every way than Aaron Baines. He's terrible. He's, like, unusable.
He's not terrible. Now, I don't want to...
Yes, he is.
Sit here and gas Daniel Theis up like
he's terrible.
Super good Evo and you should use him, but he is not terrible.
Yes, he is.
If you use Daniel Theis, you might be okay.
He's terrible.
He's not one of the best Evos that we saw this.
I Evo'd him up. I have him Evo'd up. I would love for Daniel Theis. I would love for Daniel Theis to be good. The dude's 6'8" with a 6'8" wingspan, has terrible speed for a big man, a mediocre release, gold range, and like no playmaking badges, and only 79 lateral quickness. At least Thing has a fast release. At least what's his name has a fast release. Aaron Baines, and he's bigger.
Season, so I gave it away. Daniel Theis is not going to win.
He's
this
awful.
award. It's really a 2-horse race.
It's Calderon because Calderon's god tier on next gen.
Next gen, I think, can be a top. I don't want to gas it, but I think on next gen you can make the case maybe that he can be a top 10, top 15.
Top 10 without doubt. Without question, he's top 10.
With the Hall of Fame blinders, the stats that he gets, the badges, Jose Calderon is no.
I like TLC though.
Incredible. DBG is right about it. On next gen specifically, Jose can play. And then we get into Luwalu Cabarro.
I really like TLC.
I mean, guys, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I've never used Cabarro.
I have. He's
the
good.
Thing about
he's
it
good.
is, looking at his stats, he can play. Like, he does get range extender. He gets incredible stats. And I think, like, either way, Jose Calderon or Luwalu Cabarro, either way you go, these guys are
gotta
by
be
far
Jose.
and away
Gotta be
the
Calderon.
best Evos that we saw in season 5. But in my opinion, guys, when it came down to the two kind of horse
No
race,
doubt.
I
No
think
doubt.
Jose Calderon is at one step up because of how truly overpowered he can be on next gen. The next award is our auctionable MVP, in which we see 3.
This is a tough one. This is a tough one. Because, again, this is one where there's no wrong answer. I personally, my auctionable MVP is not on this list, which is Paul George. Like, I would have Paul George and maybe Luka Doncic as on this list. But Paul George is he's, in my opinion, the best of all these. But Zion, I guess.
Dark matter cards here, and so
Paul George, I think, is better than them all.
Who's the best auctionable card that we saw in season 5? And honestly, who's the best auctionable card in the game right now? First, we're going to talk about Kevin Garnett.
Paul George,
in
my
opinion, is the best card to run at the center position right now.
D-Rob?
I think he is one step above David Robinson, and man, I might be wrong. You guys might
Really?
disagree. But I absolutely love.
I love Set Shot 14. No, I'm not saying
I love
that.
Set Shot 14, but I think what KG gives
What do you say about?
outside of that.
What do you say about Set Shot 14?
Garnett. Now, I don't love Set Shot 14.
And I do love Set Shot 14, and I'm still not putting Kevin Garnett ahead of D-Rob.
I think what KG gives you outside of that is enough to really just make him absolutely incredible. So
He is.
I basically
He's second
said
best center.
KG's the best center, okay? Then we get on to Zion Williamson at the small forward, power forward position. And if you watched my top 10 power forward video back, KG wasn't out. But you guys could see who was at number 1. It was Zion Williamson. So you guys know how truly high.
Yeah, I prefer
Zion
PG, but you
is.
can each their own.
And then MJ, last but not least, if we're talking about the shooting guard position, might be the best shooting guard
I
in
don't
the
like him.
game as well. So we got 3 guys here.
I've never liked MJ
all of
in
whom
2K.
are probably the best at their objective positions. And so it really was a three-way race. It was very, very tough for me to decide.
Paul George out of
Ultimately,
nowhere.
guys, I think Kevin Garnett deserves the auctionable MVP.
I was about to say I was hoping Paul George would come in to make this triple threat, a fatal 4-way, and Jordan will probably eat the pin. But unfortunately, the real auctionable MVP, the real MVP, Paul George, is just not in the
because
not
of
in the
how
race.
truly good he can be on both ends. And honestly, just kind of what he gives you out at the center position compared to like Zion, compared to let's say Paul George. What's the really big difference there? And then you got like MJ, let's say compared to the second best shooting guard in the game. I think there's a bigger difference between KG and a guy like Dirk or Jokic.
There is.
than a
I'll
guy
give you
like
that.
Zion compared to Paul George.
I'll give you that.
Next, we're gonna talk about the non-auctionable MVP here. And so guys, cards that are
D-Rob.
like reward cards, not auctionable. We got our
This is
first
a
card,
no-brainer.
which
I
is
love the
typically
other two guys. It's
offline
D-Rob, and
awards
it's not even close.
and is my best on anybody. I apologize.
Okay. All Ruby team. Interesting. If you give Killian Hayes quick first step, I agree.
But we're gonna start out with our point.
If you don't give Killian Hayes quick first step, Fred Hoiberg a point
guard
catch.
Killian Hayes. Now he got locked in, obviously.
Fred Hoiberg
Triple
maybe
threat online.
should
We
be
got
on this
locked
list.
in the exchange. But if you kept Killian Hayes and did not lock him in, he is
Tim
not
Legler's good as well.
serviceable enough.
Legler's really
We
good.
don't have that many good rubies in the
Lopez
game.
at
Then
2
we're
is
gonna
god tier, though.
Felipe Lopez at the 2. I took DBG's advice. He said Felipe Lopez is better at the 2.
Way
we
better.
Find out with this.
Way
all
better
team
at the 2.
because We're playing some really big type of small ball. I mean, it's a really small.
KPJ's
small-
fine at the 3. He's in a
I said that
monster
wrong,
of a
but
player
you guys
build.
get the memo. At the small forward position, we are going to run KPJ, probably the best player at this Ruby tier.
I agree.
And it's by a wide margin. KPJ with the J.R. Smith base can really just do it all, shoot the ball.
The funny thing is that Felipe Lopez also has J.R. Smith base. They both have the same base. Like, Felipe Lopez should be better than Kevin Porter Jr. He's just not, and I don't know why.
well as be decent enough on the defensive end. And then at the power forward position, we just plugged in Juancho again. Not a very deep front court here with Juancho. And then at the center
Juancho's
position,
good,
Mitchell
though.
Robinson. Now, Mitchell Robinson's going to play some defense. But on the offensive side, not a card I would recommend anybody.
Juancho's good, though.
Center position was basically between him and Taco Fall. You guys do the math.
Taco has no hook badges.
This team, we get a big step up with a lot of our positions here. Starting with Amethyst, Ronald Murray here. Think of Smush Parker, but
I mean, you say it's a big step up, but I mean, if you quick first step on Killian Hayes, I think Killian Hayes is as good as Ronald Murray. If you like Zach LaVine versus Felipe Lopez is better. Brent Barry versus Kevin Porter Jr. Kevin Porter Jr. is better. Sekou Doumbouya is better than the other guy. He is better than Juancho. And then Dwight Howard is a little bit better than Mitchell Robinson. Like, this is barely a step up, if at all. Like, Ruby versus All Amethyst team are basically the same teams.
Murray's just a little bit different, right? They're basically the same card. They're going to give you a.
Is Dwight really the best center?
I ran Ronald Murray on my no money spent squad a couple of times.
I mean, I'd use Pow, by the way. I'd use Pow.
Played for me, played very, very solid. So I'm super high on.
Yeah, I'd use this dude right here. I would use Pow. So not Pow. Marcus All. For me, it would be the Amethyst Marcus All. He's like Amethyst Marcus All. If you guys can see, 76 speed, which is just about usable. 87.3 range extender, a release that's on quick, good defense. For me, it would be Amethyst Marcus All, but again, each to their own. For Ty, Dwight's definitely better. For me, it's Marcus All.
Offensively, one of the top budget cards in the game. Now, defensively, he's still going to leave that little bit to be desired, and so that's kind of the hesitation I have with Zach LaVine.
And so are your 1 through 3
here in our front court that Zach LaVine can hold it down at that shooting guard position. At the small forward position, we're going to go with Brent Barry here again. Just kind of offensively.
Yeah, I like him. He's good.
Showtime. I don't love his release, but the Hall of Fame Showtime kind of put me over the edge, plugging him in here at our all Amethyst team. Then Sekou Doumbouya, a card I absolutely am
He's
super
great.
high on here in Sekou. At the power forward position, just kind of gives you that versatility. Can defend at a decent level. Now, on the offensive end, he's going to knock down open shots. And last but not least, at the center position, we do see All-Star Pantheon Dwight Howard. Now, this Dwight is basically the same as the Pink Diamond. So, if you like inside centers, Dwight is going to be very, very solid.
He's fast.
I would not like running Dwight Howard, but again, we don't have that many options at this center position that came out in Season 5.
Marcus All's good.
Amethyst player. Next, we're going to look at our all-diamond team here, starting with point guard Russell Westbrook.
Okay, let me just have a look. Here. To see, are there any diamond players? Oh, you forgot Maxi Kleber. No, Ty. I'm going to just assume you forgot him. Okay, I'm trying to get any other diamond players that I would have in this team. Would I take no, I'll keep Anthony Edwards in there. Yeah, I like this team. Tobias Harris is really good on next gen. Westbrook's, yeah, he's probably the best diamond point guard. But Kleber's way better than Kemp. I like Kemp, but Kleber's way better.
So really it came down to Russell Westbrook or Bob Sura. My opinion, Russell Westbrook just has a slight edge over Bob Sura.
I think I'd go Sura.
I'm playing the Galaxy Opal Westbrook over Bob Sura at the moment. Now, here's the thing that Russ is going to give you. He's basically the exact same as the Galaxy Opal. Just going to be incredible at attacking the rim. Now, that's just the one.
But it's a close one. It's close.
You know he's going to give you. He gives you that in real life, and he does give you that in 2K as well. Wasn't super high on Russ, the Opal Russ when he first came out, but now he is absolutely incredible with that release being on quick. Next, we do see the Diamond Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man here. Give him range extender, guys, and you can ball out with Ant-Man. He dunks on everything and everything. And I personally love Ant. Now, I don't run him on my no money spent squad account because he still goes.
I mean, Kleber belongs in a center, but I do actually agree. Just realized you've been like a half an hour, so I'm just going to go through these quickly. All pink diamond team. I would have Sabonis in at center instead of Draymond, but I assume he wanted to put Draymond at the 4, but couldn't leave out Lamar Odom, so he put Draymond at the 5, and that kind of makes sense. Like, Draymond is a better card than Sabonis, but if we're talking about a team, I would rather run, if I was to run a 5, I would rather have Sabonis on this squad, but I get it, that if we're talking about the 4 best pink diamonds, probably these guys. Wiggins, CD, no-brainers. Shea? Really? Point guard, pink diamond, sort by day. I go Don Buse. I go Don Buse over Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I put Don Buse in at point guard, but each to their own again. That is a very, very close one. But I wholeheartedly agree with these three guys. I wholeheartedly agree with Lamar Odom, Malik Sealy, and Wiggins. They're all exceptional. Then the all-opal team. I'd have Magic at the 1. I'd have Luka at the 2. I agree with Wes the 4 or D-Rob the 5. And I'd have Paul George. Paul George is way better than Kermit Washington. I love Kermit Washington. Paul George is way better. Even Kevin Durant's better than Kermit. Like, I'd have Paul George and Kevin Durant starting over Kermit Washington on this team. But I do agree that Luka belongs on the team. I agree that Wes belongs on the team. And I agree that D-Rob belongs on the team. So, yeah. Pretty good team. So, anyway, yeah. That is pretty much it. Again, sub to Ty if you guys haven't. And that is the video. Huge thank you to Ty for making these. These are always fun to react to. Obviously, we're not going to agree on everything. We're two completely different players, two completely different play styles, but the fact that we do agree with 50% of things. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.